Hello and welcome. Hello, am I audible? Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, so welcome to Writernaama and Merry Christmas to all of you. This is going to be a very wonderful session. And what could have been a better day than Christmas? And who could have been better than my mentor to take this session and take us through the journey? So before I hand it over to Anil, Anil has been my ICF PCC coach. He is ICF accredited coach, one of the brilliant mentors I have been blessed with, and so many more things to him, and a brilliant thinker as well. And talking about the topic today, that's very interesting, very close to my heart. Maybe because the ICF PCC also has seeded that belief in me. So Christmas is often about external celebrations, but some of the most powerful transformation or even the tiniest of shifts that bring the bigger transformation or make the picture bigger, those are internal and most of the times invisible. So today the session is not about becoming someone new, something new, but it's about letting go of what you have been carrying mentally for years. Maybe assumptions, maybe stories, maybe narratives, maybe inherited beliefs that have shaped your choices in life. And today we are opening that doorway. So before we begin, I want you all to forget what you do for a living. Maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a manager, maybe you are a professional overthinker like me. Because the belief that limits you doesn't care about your designation at all. It shows up everywhere without informing you. It shows up in your decision, it shows up in your confidence, it shows up in your money beliefs, it shows up in your creativity, it shows up in your relationships. And today, the session is not about the profession, not at all about the profession. The session is about the person behind the title, which we all are. And how many of you have ever delayed a decision, a dream, or maybe a conversation? Not because you did not know how to do that or how to take the decision or what to do, but because something inside you kept on whispering, or maybe a loud voice, that this may be not for you or you are not good enough. How many of you have done that in life and have been there? I have also been there many a times, and I keep bouncing back. So because the sentence that you keep listening oftentimes is it's not logic, it's a belief, and that gets shaped up with various of circumstances. And once you see it clearly, it starts losing its grip. So today is about that belief surgery under the guidance of the expert, Anil. So I hand it over to Anil. Over to you, Anil.
Thank you, Heena.
Most welcome.
To start this off, I just now remembered the very first version of my website, which I developed in 2009. So I put these lines on that. Be careful of your thoughts become your beliefs. Be careful of your beliefs become your words. Be careful of your words lead to actions, and then be careful of your actions, they lead to results. So from the very start, all my work, if I were to go to the core of my work, it has always been recognizing beliefs that people are coming from. In fact, if I were to go back to my history, even before I learned neuro-linguistic programming, I intuitively could pick up the beliefs that people had. But I couldn't put it into words. I couldn't understand what I am picking up, let alone why I'm picking that up. And once I learned NLP, that skill just became very sharp. And those of you, Heena, you attended my coach training program, and during that program, I take impromptu coaching sessions. So you've experienced that the core of my work is picking up these beliefs and reflecting it back. Now, back at the start or mid of 2025, if you remember, I came up with this idea that I want to do a money beliefs inventory. So how that also happened is I attended this program called Millionaire Mindset Intensive, which is the T. Harv Eker's signature program. Uh, Now I've attended that in the past also, and every time I've attended, many times I've attended. So every time I've attended, one thing stands out for me. That whole explanation of the millionaire mindset and the jar system, all of that is great. But neither that program, nor any other program, nor anywhere else have I come across anything which helps you or me or any particular individual identify what are your limiting money beliefs. So the program is a general purpose. If you have limiting beliefs about money, you will face these issues. But what is one person's set of limiting beliefs around money? How do you figure that out? Which meant that with my skill of being able to identify beliefs, I can interview people, ask questions, and then I can help in identifying those money beliefs. So if you remember, I think, I don't remember exactly when, but April or May of 2025, I did this whole interview, 2-hour interview with you and several others, asking a lot of questions and putting together. After about 7 or 8 such interviews, one thing struck me, and that was like, whoa, 2 hours interview. If I have 5 minutes of conversation, to do an analysis of that would take me about 30 minutes. Now, 2 hours is like what? 24 times that. That means 12 hours. It'll take me 12 hours to do the whole belief analysis of one interview. And I said, wait a minute, this is not scalable. This is not going to work. And that's why that whole coming back to each of you with your money belief report, it took some time because my mind was working on how to make this scalable. And then I said, let me work and explore and experiment with ChatGPT. So I took ChatGPT, and ChatGPT allows you to create custom GPT and train that GPT on your specific knowledge. So I said, okay, I teach this belief identification. There's a full course. You've attended the Life Transformation Power Coach course. And I teach this whole how to identify beliefs in that. If I can teach it to a human being, let me try teaching it to ChatGPT. And that's what I did. And as a result, what happened was I have a custom GPT trained specifically on my own proprietary belief discovery framework. It does not use generic ChatGPT knowledge, generic psychology knowledge. It uses specific knowledge that I have taught it to identify beliefs. And then I said, okay, I have these 7-8 interviews. I got a transcript of those interviews and I put the transcript into this ChatGPT. And from that, generating a belief blueprint report is a matter of 60 to 90 seconds. 60 to 90 seconds from a 2-hour interview. And that blew my mind away. Like, this is not just breakthrough for me, but it's breakthrough for everybody who's attended my life coach training courses. Because, for example, Heena, if you're coaching someone, you can use my Belief GPT, put that person's interview or that coaching conversation transcript through the GPT, and you can get a full belief inventory report of that person. And the way beliefs work is, and the way coaching works with beliefs, is our role is not to say this belief is bullshit. Our role as coaches is to say, hey, this is what your words are indicating. And if this is what your words are indicating as beliefs, then this is possibly the impact it's having on you and your life. And in case you want to go beyond that, then this is the way you can do it. The way I explain beliefs is amongst tens and hundreds and thousands of doors, the beliefs you are acting out of are some of the doors you have chosen. Doesn't mean that your choices are wrong. By identifying beliefs and making you aware, we're not judging that your choices are right or wrong. All we are saying is, here are the doors you have chosen, and there are so many other doors. And if you were to look beyond those doors, this is what could be there beyond those doors. The choice remains with you what to do with those doors. Maybe some people experience shifts and say, okay, fine, my belief has changed. Maybe some people will say, it is reinforcing the choices I made, and I'll continue to be with that. And as coaches, either of these is fun. So that's a little bit of background about what this whole belief work is and this chat GPT. The idea of this particular Zoom meeting was that I did not want to make this about theory of beliefs. I do not wish to make this a theory. What I want to instead do is I want to invite a few people, but before that, I'll do a demo of my own. And then I want to invite few people to share some lines, 2 or 3 lines of self-expression. And then I'll show you how I put this into the chat GPT and it generates output. You will see your words being broken down into beliefs. And then from the beliefs, what is the impact or what's the possible impact? You are the person who can best decide what's the true impact. The chat GPT can only help you understand that there is some impact of some nature. But the beliefs will be very clear identification. These are the beliefs. And just by looking at it, I've had people look at it and realize and recognize and achieve massive breakthroughs just by looking at the reports. Okay, so with that, how many of you would like to see me doing this demo? Let's first take this. Or do you have any questions before I go to the demo? I'm happy to take some questions before. Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Heena.
Hi, I have a question, Anil. Vidya
Yes.
here.
Yes, Vidya.
Okay, this process will reveal the belief. And if I already know that I have that belief and I'm having a problem with that belief, but I'm not able to get it out, what do I do?
Then this ChatGPT is also configured based on what I have taught it from my coaching sessions. I've taught it to give you some questions, give you some perspectives of different ways of looking at that same input. Think of the belief being identified and revealed as an input, and here are 4 or 5 or X number of different ways to look at it. Whether any of those ways brings about a massive shift in you or not, that's not even the objective. But the objective is to bring to your awareness that when you choose one particular door, you have one perspective or perception around things. But then when you see beyond the other doors, there are so many different perspectives, so many different perceptions that could be there. That itself has an impact that, oh, there are so many different perspectives. I'm holding on to one. Maybe I have a good reason and valid reason to hold on to one. That's okay. But just the realization that there could be so many different perspectives has that effect on, little bit of loosening the perception. It's no longer rigid. It becomes a little bit more fluid. And then questions, what I call as the Socratic dialogue questions. So the ChatGPT is also programmed to provide you with Socratic dialogue questions. You can ask those questions to yourself, and those questions are designed to make you look at it from so many different perspectives that some point of time or the other, that old beliefs just shifts, it just shatters. Those who have witnessed my coaching and who have learned coaching from me and who have used this belief discovery model, they know what I'm talking. They have seen it, they have experienced it, and they have used it. So it's a lot more real to them. Whereas to the rest of you, this may just be right now theoretical. Did that answer your question, Vidya?
Yeah. So what you're saying is that it brings the awareness rather than change, an actual change. The change comes later,
Yes.
but the awareness has to be there first. That's
Right.
okay.
Yes.
Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
In fact, all of my work, it starts with, in my coaching, whatever coaching I do, and when I teach coaching also, it's always this first step is awareness. And from awareness, the next stage is acceptance. Then the next stage is alignment. Alignment of your purpose, your identity, and your values and beliefs. Then the fourth step is actions and behaviors. And then the final fifth stage is accountability. So this particular tool helps in that first stage, which is awareness. Cool. Any other questions, anybody? Okay, let's shift. What I'll do is I'll switch. Heena, do I have share permissions? Yeah, I have. Okay, where's Firefox? Okay, I'm opening this up. What I'll do is I will first just take one particular belief statement. I had encountered it from someone, and I'm going to put this in Chat GPT. The statement I had encountered was, I am not earning enough. Somebody had said this to me. And then you can see this. This is the Chat GPT screen. I'm putting this. This is my prompt. Identify all the beliefs, especially the limiting ones, in the following sentence. I am not earning enough. Use line by line, word by word, deep scan analysis to identify beliefs, layers of beliefs, and impact of beliefs. And then a little bit more to the prompt. And then I'm just going to click next and see what it throws up. Hina, you'll recognize this from what I teach. The word I am, as soon as I am is encountered, it reflects that it's an identity level statement. And therefore, it's an identity level belief. Not expresses lack. Earning, doing implies effort, exchange, transactions, action, capability, belief, enough. And then it actually says, okay, primary explicit beliefs. I am not earning enough. Core belief, my current income is insufficient. But structurally, this isn't just a factual statement. It's a belief system in disguise, containing multiple layers. Identity plus capability plus comparison. Okay. And then it's showing, okay, implicit assumptions in this statement. There exists a measurable enough. That enough is somewhere beyond my current position. Therefore, right now, I am less than I should be. I am less than, see, from earning money, what it's actually, this statement is saying, the person has made it about themselves as their identity. I am, my identity is someone who does not have enough money. And then belief layer 2, underlying logic, inductive roots. Where did this come from? From comparing to external standards. I earn X, others earn more. I can't afford Y. I feel limited. Assumes money equal to success, worth, safety. And then belief layer 3, deeper structural belief system, means I am lacking. I am lacking means something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with me means I must fix myself to be enough. If somebody is operating from this whole system of beliefs, I am not enough. I am lacking. Something is wrong with me. I have to fix myself. What do you think? Is that ever going to result in a solution to the money challenge that person is facing? It cannot. Because the way identity works is, whatever is my identity, I will always try to prove my identity right. That is how the human mind is wired. That's true for me, that's true for you, that's true for everybody in the world. Whatever you consider as your identity, your mind will prove your identity right. And as long as that identity is held, nothing is going to show. Okay. Just from one sentence, look at the amount of analysis that has been thrown up. And then reframe prompts. What if enough is a state of being, not a number? When did I first learn that worth equal to earning? Who benefits from me believing that I'm not enough yet? Okay, let's do one more thing. Okay, give me 5 Socratic dialogue questions to challenge this belief. This is a good one. I like this. First one is, how do you know? So we call it, in my teaching, I call it the evidence test. Ask for the evidence. Then enough for what? Comparison, relativity. Okay, enough. Actually, also, one more way to look at relativity challenge is enough as compared to what? The word enough itself is very subjective, very abstract. But when I ask that question, enough as compared to what? Well, my income is not more than my expense. So then, based on that answer, theoretically, the moment income becomes more than my expense, even by 1 rupee or $1, then at least this identity level belief gets shattered. Okay, and then cause effect reversal. What if it's not that you feel small because you earn less, but that feeling small makes you perceive your earnings as less? And this caused a big shift in that person. Okay, because if you leave this thought aside and then that person looks at the total income through the year versus the expense, it just became a matter of mathematics. Expense is more than income, but the income by itself was something that a lot of people would die for. I mean, there are people struggling with, or even not just struggling, I would say there are people happy with having 6 lakhs per annum as income. This person's income was 24 lakhs per annum, 4 times more. And still, in this whole syndrome of I am not enough. But then when this question was asked, it's like, oh, okay, I just have to find a way to cut my expenses and increase my income. When was this not true? When I asked this person, okay, 3 years ago. Okay, good. So 3 years ago, you were earning more than your income, more than your expense. Your income was more than your expense. So how is it about your identity then? Maybe it's just a phase. What if you expand this window to over 10 years and you count your income and expenses for 10 years? So actually, I made that person count that. The income for 10 years and expenses for 10 years. It's easy to get it from the balance sheet and the profit and loss statements or cash flow statements for people. Then over 10 years, the income was still more than expense. Who would you be without this? Now, this had the biggest shift for that person. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't know, but ChatGPT has gone ahead and try a short quiz, test your knowledge on this topic. Oh boy. I was thinking of building this into the GPT, but ChatGPT is doing this on its own. All right. So that's a little bit demo of just one line. Who here would like to volunteer 1 or 2 lines of self-expression and see what is there to discover from this analysis? Yes, Anand.
Yeah, do I have to talk or I have to type in?
No, just give me 1 or 2 lines and I'll put those over here.
I want to retire confidently and keep myself meaningfully engaged.
Okay. So this is a statement about a future desire.
Yes.
Is there any present related to this future desire that kind of you feel you're sort of stuck with or not entirely certain about?
No, at present things are going quite well,
Okay.
but maybe as I age, I'm a little bit concerned about my health.
Okay. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So so the sentences are, I want to retire confidently and keep myself meaningfully engaged. At present, things are going quite well, but maybe as I age, I am a little bit concerned about my health. Same prompt, no change to the prompt. I just added the sentences which I did earlier also. Be direct and provocative. Okay, let's click on send and then see what it throws on. Okay. I want, and this is what I also do as part of my analysis, and I teach everyone. The moment somebody says, I want, the assumption behind it is that I don't already have it. And therefore, I want implies perception of lack. I want to retire confidently assumes that you are not yet retired and you're not yet confident. That's what shows up. To want something equal to acknowledge not having it now. Belief, I don't yet have what I need to feel confident or engaged. Limiting belief 1. My confidence in me exists in the future, not in me right now. To retire, retirement equal to end of active professional life, end of identity tied to whatever, productivity or whatever you describe as your present. And then there is a assumed belief behind that my work defines my identity. And after it ends, I need to find a new form of meaning. Maybe there's a fear hidden here. Without structured word, I might lose purpose. Maybe, may not be. Confidently, adverb modifies emotional state, implied contrast. Without confidence, retirement would be unsafe or uncertain, implied contrast. Therefore, confidence is conditional. I'll only feel okay if certain factors are under control, money, health, relevance. Confidence is dependent on something. Something, okay. It has chosen the word external stability, but right now, remember, it's doing word by word analysis. So we've not yet reached the health sentence. If we take it in the totality, confidence is dependent on health. And then health could be dependent on something, and that could be dependent on something. And keep myself meaningfully engaged. Keep. That means if I want to keep myself, somewhere the assumption is I might not be able to keep. And that's how it's showing up as a fear of losing. It may not be fear, but the thought also. But then thought and feeling, they're not very different from each other. Meaningfully, judgment. If you're engaged, it needs to be meaningfully engaged, not just engaged. Now, that's going to bring in a lot of context to it. then certain things are meaningful, certain things are not meaningful for you. Engaged, connected to life through doing. We're not going to question that. I must hold on to meaning or else I'll fade into irrelevance. If I stop being productive or active or engaged, life loses meaning. Summary. Sentence 2. At present, things are going well, but maybe as I age, I'm a little bit concerned about my health. Surface level optimism, but temporarily limited at present. The present is okay, but it's temporary. That means assumption is something could possibly change in the future. Or the assumption is this won't last. This may not last. The but cancels everything before it. Maybe introduces mild, I won't put it as anxiety, I would put it as doubt, but then ChatGPT chooses its own words when it has to present back its analysis. As I age, inevitable decline association, age equals loss. Getting older means X, Y, Z. Not necessarily weaker, lower, and less capable, but whatever, something X, Y, and Z, which is not as good as it is today. I'm a little bit concerned about my health. Concerned, anticipatory fear, little bit underplaying your fear about my health, projection of control, future threat. Belief, health decline is inevitable and I can't fully prevent it. My health is fragile and will decay. Summary, hope shadowed by fear pattern. And then layers, surface, underlying root. I'm just going to leave it on screen. And then this one, implied unstated beliefs. And then going further down, impact, layer impact chain. Immediate impact, over preparation, over planning, retirement, difficulty relaxing, I must stay useful. Just check within yourself which of these impacts is true for you. Over preparation, over planning, difficulty relaxing, subtle anxiety about future decline. Secondary impact, self-worth becomes conditional on performance, aging seen as enemy, health issues equal failure, joy and presence replaced by future-oriented control. Life becomes a maintenance project, not a lived experience, being replaced by proving. Death, anxiety camouflaged as productivity. The final trap, if I stop achieving, I disappear. Outcome, spiritual exhaustion, living to postpone decline rather than embrace existence. Provocative reflection. You're not planning for retirement. You're trying to negotiate with mortality. This is ChatGPT giving you a direct and provocative challenge, a reflection back.
Okay.
Okay. You say meaningful engagement, but what you really mean is I can't wait to become invisible. You're not worried about health. You're terrified of irrelevance. You've equated confidence with control and aging with loss. Now, in this ChatGPT, I've also programmed a subtle and gentle mode versus provocative and direct mode. So those of you coaches that want to use a tool like this, and you know that different people have different styles. For some people, it's better to be direct and provocative. Some people, it's better to be a little bit more subtle and gentle. Then you can ask the output to be subtle and gentle also. And then final reflection prompting for reframing. Do this, actually. Check these questions and see what happens when you ask these questions to yourself. What if confidence did not depend on control, did not depend on health, did not depend on anything? It just exists by itself. Confidence just exists. How would it be different for you? What if in your mind, aging was not any kind of decline? It was just natural evolution. You're going to age, you're going to die, that's life. Maybe there'll be some changes in our ability to move and action, but that's also part of nature. And there's total acceptance of that. See, after awareness comes acceptance. What if you had that total acceptance of the aging process? What if meaningful engagement meant being present in this moment, not just doing something to gain that confidence? Just be totally present in this moment. Live this moment to its fullness. Who would I be if I stopped trying to keep meaning and simply lived it? Forget about meaningful engagement. Just find meaning and find this present moment and live it in its totality. How would life change for you? How would this whole thought change for you? Let's do one more thing. I suggested reframes. What if you started thinking that confidence is not the absence of uncertainty about health? It's your willingness to stay open to whatever comes. Reframe number 2, even when I'm still doing nothing without any meaningful engagement, my presence still matters. What if, as I age, I gain refinement, I trade speed for insight, quantity for quality of life? Maybe I slow down, but I enjoy the quality of life. What if meaning is not something to preserve, it's something I continuously choose in this moment? And what if my body speaks through change? Health is my relationship with those messages. Socratic dialogue questions. How do you know you're going to have health issues? Maybe you won't. Just a thought, right? What would meaningful engagement look like if it wasn't tied to achievement or output? What if it isn't aging that causes loss of meaning or even decline in health, but the fear of aging that causes it? Can you recall moments when you felt deeply alive or purposeful, even while resting, healing, or doing nothing? And if you couldn't think I must stay useful to have work, who would you become? If it was just impossible for your mind to comprehend or even think that I have to be meaningfully engaged, if your mind was incapable of having that desire, that want, that thought, then who would you become and what would suddenly be possible? What story am I using aging to justify? Where did I first learn that rest or aging are equal to decay or decline in health? Whose approval am I still chasing when I plan my retirement? Again, multiple different questions. Just to help you look at so many different doors and see what could be beyond those doors. Make sense, Anand?
Yeah, it is giving a different perspective now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's giving a different perspective altogether.
Correct. At least you get an idea that there are so many other possibilities, and your mind had not yet considered those possibilities.
True. That is correct.
Right? In the moment, so what happens to the statement you started with, or what has already happened to the statement you started with after recognizing that there are so many other possibilities?
So now some actionables have come out. The first is I have to take care of my health.
Hmm.
Secondly, I should be happily engaged. That's it. Whether meaningful or not, it doesn't matter. Because
Yeah.
I don't have to prove to anyone.
Correct. True.
And earlier part which you have covered about the money matter, that already is clear in my mind. So I'm not worried about from that perspective. That is limiting belief of money is not there with me.
Mhm.
So good. Thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions? Anybody
Wonderful.
have any questions on this?
Anil, there is one in the chat where Preshit is asking, can
Hmm.
sharing desired example in prompt help?
Meaning, I didn't understand. Can sharing desired example mean what?
Preshit, can you explain a bit? Maybe unmute and explain. You're there?
Yes, we can hear you now.
No, I mean, I was asking Preshit because even I don't know. With one line, even I could not understand. Preshit, would you like to explain this?
Heena, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I meant by sharing like something which we can relate to. If we have a case which is
Hmm.
something similar, like which is somewhere related to us, like a desired state.
Give your sentence. I'll put it into chat GPT and we'll see. Give me your sentence. Give me your sentence, Prashit.
Preshit, are we audible to you? You can give a sentence to Anil and he will take it as an experiment right now here to dissect the belief.
Put it in the chat window if in case there is a voice. Taking early retirement by specific age. Give your sentence. What's your full sentence? Give me a sentence. Put it in the chat window. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Anybody else has any other sentence we can put through this chat GPT? Yes, Cheryl.
Thanks, Anil. So one is I don't know why I am not able to take steps.
Sorry, sir. I don't know
I
why.
don't know why I'm not able to take the steps in two areas, my health and my career. Even though I know what needs to be done. Would that be enough?
Yeah, that's enough, more than enough.
Okay.
I don't know why I am not able to take the steps in the areas of health and my career, even though I know what needs to be done. Exactly your words.
Yes.
I did any words of mine. Even for Anand, I used exactly Anand's words.
Yes.
I don't know why. Confusion, helplessness. I'm disconnected. Hidden message. disconnected from myself. I'm not able, function, powerlessness. Hidden message, I like capability or will. Will. To take steps in action. Action requires something I don't have. That's the hidden message. Okay. In the areas of health and life. So scope. So basically then what it means is that other areas you are able to take steps.
Yeah.
Okay. And then even though I know what needs to be done, cognitive, knowing isn't enough. Something is wrong with me. Hidden message. Wait 1 minute. I have to. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. Something inside me blocks me and I can't access it. Limiting belief 1. Implied belief, if I don't understand it or I don't know it, if I'm not aware of it, I cannot change it. And therefore, it means I'm not in control of myself. I'm not able, I'm incapable. And then implied belief is capability is fixed, not something that you can achieve. I mean, if you start looking at capability as a skill to be achieved, you would find something.
Yeah.
And therefore, the root belief of that is something is wrong or weak or not right about me. To take the steps, steps implied small concrete action, saying I can't take the steps, admitting paralysis towards the steps. So self-judgment is there. Should be easy, but I can't. Again, reinforcing something is wrong, something is weak, something is not right. And if I can't take the simple steps, there's no way I can get the result, and therefore there must be something fundamentally wrong. In the areas of health and career, failing in both implies global self-judgment. I'm failing at life itself. Maybe not to its fullest extent. If I'm not improving in these areas, then I'm failing. But there are other areas where you are making progress. The sting of awareness plus inaction equal to guilt. Even though creates contradiction, knowing is not enough. This frames knowledge as irrelevant and self as defective. So it keeps coming back to something is not right, something is wrong, something is flawed, something is lacking. Okay, then implied and opposing beliefs. Self-disconnection. I don't know myself, something hidden controls me. We've already discussed this. Psychological nature is loss of agency. Learned helplessness, self-worth tied to performance. Okay, then layered belief structure. I don't know why. I should always know why. Oh, that's another. Do you need to know, always know why?
Yeah, but I can understand that part. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not able. That means I should always be able to take the steps. Taking steps should be easy, even though I know what needs to be done. If I know, I should automatically do. These are implied opposite sentences or the shoulds or expectations being identified through the sentence that you gave. So underneath the helplessness, there's perfectionism. A lot of expectations from your own self. So in that whole 5A's framework, awareness, acceptance. So in your case, the biggest part of the work that, the biggest part of introspection you have to do is in the area of self-acceptance. Because the sentences indicate that you're aware.
Yeah.
But what we're identifying is it's about acceptance. I don't know why I can't. Okay, fine. 3-layer impact chain. Immediate impact is procrastination, overthinking, hesitation, endless mental rehearsal instead of motion, searching for motivation rather than building momentum. I can relate to this very well because historically, since my teenage years, I've had this sort of, weird, well, not weird. I own it, so it's not weird. I've had this absolute obsession to be fit and healthy. And then in 2007, when the movie Casino Royale was released, the obsession became further. I have to develop a physique like Daniel Craig. And then I achieved it in 2018. But then my photographs from 2020, I saw myself as having gained from about 20% body fat percentage, I went up to 40% body fat percentage. And my waistline increased about 6 inches. 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches. Now, point is, I'm not judging anybody else. I'm just saying I have standards for myself. And this was way outside of my standards for myself. There's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just my standards for myself. I don't define this for anybody else. And then 2021, I said I have to start working out, start exercising. 2021, 22, 23, exactly. Procrastination, overthinking, hesitation, start and stop mechanism, mental distress about all of it, searching for motivation rather than building momentum. So I'm just sharing my own journey around it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And later on, I'll also share what I did. Okay. That doesn't mean that what I did is right for you. It's just part of me sharing my journey. Identity shifts from someone preparing, secondary impact. So you're slipping into the identity of someone who fails to act. Okay, the longer you hold on to these beliefs, you'll slip into this identity. You're entering the zone of self-labeling, self-judgment. And then the emotional tone is shame, frustration, helplessness, guilt, whatever, the combination of negative emotions. And this is where the impact is, the core of the impact is, the deepest level of impact. Chronic distrust of self. And that I experienced it. I started distrusting myself because from who I considered me to be, I had become a person completely not someone who keeps his promise to himself. And if I can't keep a promise to myself, how can I trust myself? And this is what I faced. This seems like this is me, my story being reflected back to me. Creates a life pattern of hesitation. The more this continued, the more hesitation happened. And then sometimes I would just give up. And this is the provocative. Let's strip it bare. You don't not know why. You do know. But you don't want to admit the real reason because admitting it would require responsibility, risk, and discomfort. You confuse clarity with certainty. You know what to do, but you secretly expect to feel ready first. Readiness never comes, so inaction feels justified. I'm not ready. And if I'm not ready, then it's justified that I'm not taking action. Because if you act and fail, you confirm this belief, I'm not enough. And therefore, why act?
Yeah.
So doing nothing becomes safer. This belief isn't about discipline, it's about self-trust. As it was, I recognized and realized for me, I had to learn to trust myself. I had to reconnect with my sense of, I am the man who keeps my, fulfills my promise to myself. I had to go back to being that version of me. What does not knowing why protect me from facing? Okay, fine. Let's do one thing. Give me 5 reframes, different perspectives for these beliefs, and also 5 separated dialogue questions to challenge these. From something's wrong with me, nothing's missing, something is misaligned. From I must feel ready before I act, action creates readiness. This is what actually worked for me. When I share, you'll realize what I mean. At least my experience. Not necessarily what will work for you, just what worked for me. Knowing but not doing proves weakness. It proves I care enough to notice the gap. Well, you care enough to notice. You care enough to bring it up. In a group of people you've hardly met, I'm assuming you've not met any of these people. So,
Only Heena.
yeah, that's a lot of courage. That's a lot of care.
Thank you.
And career define my worth. They reflect my relationship with myself. I can't trust myself to follow through. Change it to I can gain trust through small kept promises. And that's what I did. Small promises. I started giving small promises. 5 Socratic evidence. What specific proof do you have that you're incapable?
Okay.
What does able actually mean to you? Physical capacity, discipline, emotional safety, or permission? What if clarity doesn't cause action, but action clarifies what really matters? When have you acted effectively without feeling ready or motivated? What made it possible then? In fact, I will go one more. For a counterexample, I'll give you one more. What are the other areas where you are doing what you know and are achieving what you want to achieve? What about those areas? What's going on over there? What's working over there? What are your beliefs around that area, those areas? And then if the thought I'm not able vanished, how would you behave differently? And what would that reveal about you actually are? So just to complete the anecdotal sharing of my episode, I promised myself I will do 90 seconds of some exercise, minimum 90 seconds of some exercise for 365 days without any break. 90 seconds only. Without caring about whether I get the results or not. I just have to do some exercise. I started this on 11th of December 2023. And I chose that exercise. You could choose anything. I could have chosen anything. I just chose planks, doing the planks. 90 seconds of plank. By end of March of 2024, I was doing 15 minutes of plank. The other thing I did is to hold myself accountable, I will record it and put it on social media. Which means my own mind goes that if someday I do not put my video on social media, then somebody has the right to come and ask me, Anil, what happened? Did you not do your exercise? And I used that whole, I can't let that happen to me. I can't have anybody come back and ask me, Anil, why did you not put out a video? Why, does it mean you didn't exercise? Does it mean that you're not who you claim to be? I mean, I created that sense of shame around not doing it. So shame can work in positive ways, by the way. Okay, this is how I came to work positively for me. Somebody even actually told me, Anil, you're ruining your reputation by putting exercise videos on social media. Talk about, I've heard of fat shaming, but this was the first time I was fitness shamed.
Yeah.
I was shamed by somebody else for taking the action to regain my fitness. Good, I used it. I used shame to pursue my fitness even more. And then 15 minutes plank. Then I said, okay, now it's time to switch gears. Now I will switch to 40 minutes of some exercise, easy exercise every day for 30 days. 30 days, non-stop. And I said, I'll walk. Basic, simple walking. I don't know if Amrita, no, this was after your batch, Heena. Okay, so 40 minutes of walking at home, not even going out. I'm taking class. There's observed practice coaching going on. Somebody's coaching somebody, I'm listening and I have to give feedback. So my Zoom class is on and I'm walking in the home while the Zoom class is on. Sometimes I did 80 minutes, 90 minutes, even 120 minutes of walking. But 40 minutes was like minimum. Then after I said reached 40 minutes, then I said, okay, now it's time to switch things further. Now I will restart my strength training 5 days a week minimum. Then I came to, so by around July, I started of 2024. So from December 11th, I started. It took about 7 months to reach where I restarted my strength training. 31st of December 2024, I posted on social media my photograph showing off six-pack abs. And then to that person who fitness shamed me, कर दिखाया जो शेम करना है करो भाई की फर्क
Right.
पैदा को हमने तो कर दिखाया. Now, point is not the action, Cheryl. Point was, it was only one and only one thing. When I saw myself in the mirror, I did not like that the person I saw in the mirror, because that person was a person who does not keep his words. And that was the biggest shame of everything else. If I'm a person who does not keep his words, what right I have to play the role of a coach or a teacher to anybody else? And that is what drove me and still drives me even now. Anyway, that's just me sharing my journey. May not apply to you or to anybody else. I'm just sharing that, I'll tell you how sharing helps. Okay, people might say, okay, Anil, क्यों बोल रहे हो ये? Why are you sharing all this? Some people will say, you're just exposing your weakness and vulnerability to people, or somebody will say you're just bragging. It's neither of those. I'll tell you what. In 2025, I enrolled in some coaching program where I was a coachee, okay, from somebody. And during those, it was a group program, and I was I raised my hand for something and I was picked up for the coaching. And then a lot of sharing happened, a lot of breakthroughs happened. And then subsequent to that, breakout rooms are held. And when I was in breakout rooms, everybody consistently kept telling me, Anil, when you spoke, it was like you're telling my story. When you spoke, it was like telling my story. When you spoke, it was like telling my story. So basically, a lot of people got coached by proxy because I shared my story. That was number one. But other than that, there was a significant impact to me. And that was like prior to having these inputs from people, so many people saying this was like my story, I was thinking I'm the only one. And then why is this happening to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? And then suddenly it's like, no, it's happened to everyone. I'm not special. This is the way the world is. So many people are going through it. So just get over it, Anil. I mean, I told this to myself, get over it. Enough of self-pity. So I didn't use those words, but suddenly that whole weight and burden of why me, why this, that burden just disappeared, because that's nature, that's life. That's acceptance. So when I talk about acceptance, I've had my own struggles with acceptance. and my own journey to re-find that acceptance. And it's okay to be struggling. We all have our struggles. It's okay. But somewhere through these, but anyways, that's enough about me. Let me bring it back to you, and looking at all of this being shown as a mirror, not necessarily 100% precise and accurate, but at least presenting you with so many different ways of looking at it. What's the impact or effect on you?
So one is I have relief in some way. I may not be able to articulate that very well right now. So I don't think I really disagreed with what I was reading, because like you spotted, the awareness is there. So I know that as a person, at least, and I've been learning to do that. So the awareness is there, and the element of shame, missed opportunities, regrets, the I mean, the converse is, when it's the other way, if it's somebody else who needs all this done, I have the answers, I get it all done, as long as it's not about me. And I could clearly see that it is that, right? And without me having to go into many layers, I know it's deep rooted from my childhood, from a lot of things that I've gone through. And while it's been a journey in the last couple of years of trying to work on a lot of elements, I think there are just too many elements to work on. But now I think I've reached that point, and that's why I shared, because now I am at that uh, uh, position. When I say position, state in life, or that I've reached that point. Now I need to do something, and it just felt natural to. I felt comfortable to share, and so I think I like the last sentence which was there, that which was like, what promise did I keep to myself today? The thing before I go to sleep. I read that, the optional reflection prompt. Yeah, and your sharing was spot on for me. So thank you for sharing. And I completely believe that, yes. So uh, somebody, I mean, if you know me, maybe 15 years back till childhood, I would not have been a person who shared. So it's a journey for me. And I have no shame from where I come, but I have internal shame or regret from a lot of other things. So your sharing has impacted me, and I realize it has clicked something for me. And I know my internal clicks when they happen. That means I'll do something about it. So thank you very much. So, and I see this very useful, and I was very excited when you started with the chat GPT thing. Yeah, so it's done wonderfully. So thank you.
I'll just add one thought over here, Cheryl, for you and definitely for everybody. We all have our own share of shame, guilt, grief, call it whatever. Point is not to fight them. Point is to accept them and use those to our advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Use it to our advantage.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you.
Allies. These emotions are our allies. They are friends.
Yeah.
So, any questions? Anyway, Heena, how much more time do we have?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, most welcome.
Salim, we are seeing each other after 7, 8, maybe 10 years. You're on mute, I think, Salim. Can't hear your voice. Not able to hear your voice. We'll connect through WhatsApp and we'll talk.
Okay, so if there are no questions, wonderful. Thank you so much. Anandji is saying too good experience. And you can extend this experience by connecting with Anil. And I'm sure there are wonderful programs over there which you can get into and extend this practice.
Can I take one moment to just talk
Sure.
about my beliefs blueprint report?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sure.
Give me a moment. I'll just okay, I'm putting this background over here. Okay, you'll see a QR code. On this QR code, if you scan it, it'll take you to my website to a page for money belief blueprint report. Now, what the money belief blueprint report is, it's a page where you can order. Once you place the order, you will receive the link for the questionnaire. You respond to the questionnaire. And then after I receive your response, I will put it through the chat GPT. I will generate your belief blueprint report and I will give it back to you. Now, the full detailed blueprint report, give me a moment. I'll just share how detailed it gets. Okay, it's very powerful. I'll just share that and show you. Heena, is it okay if I just share your blueprint report because और किसी का मैं दिखाऊं अभी?
Yeah, absolutely. Perfectly fine.
I can show this because there's no name, I think.
Yeah,
Sample.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without name, right? Okay. So I will share this. Okay. So belief inventory in impact, recurring patterns and themes, belief map, limiting impact, then strengths and empowering beliefs to leverage, Socratic mini dialogues, and then breaking free, suggested reframes, 30, 60, 90-day action plan, triggers to watch, language cues to recognize and change, measures of progress, affirmations to use. So, and of course, if you want more, I can generate more details and send it to you. So if you want a money beliefs blueprint report, scan on the QR code, go to this website link and purchase. If you have any questions, you can email me and you can clarify. You can set up a Zoom meeting with me and I can clarify your question before you order if that's the case. But I also want to mention one thing. I also have 2 more questionnaires. I just don't have a website page for those questionnaires. So one more is leadership amplifier blueprint, specifically those who are in the corporate world in leadership roles or aspirational for leadership roles. It's meant for that. And second is a questionnaire on what I call add procrastination to momentum. Okay, I know what to do, but I'm stuck kind of situation. So I have a questionnaire for that. So in case you don't want the money belief report, you want another report, you can still order it using the same page and then send me an email. I don't want the money belief questionnaire. I want this questionnaire. Alternatively, if you say, Anil, I don't want any of these 3 questionnaires, I have a specific different challenge, I can custom create a questionnaire for you and then generate. So if in any doubt, just set up a one-on-one Zoom with me. I think on this website page, there should be a link. If not, I'll share that link for setting up. I'll just share that in this chat. It's okay. I'm just sending this 1 minute.
Anil, would this link be? I'm not able to scan the QR code for some reason. It's not picking it up.
Can you put the link in the chat box, Anil? Because I tried the same. Well, I don't know. It's not getting scanned.
Okay, so I'll do that first for scheduling. I'm sharing. I will share 2 links with you. So link 1 and then maybe it's the image is too small for it to be scanned and recognized.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll send the second one also. If you just click, it'll take you to this page. I'll just show this page also on the screen. It's just the page is loading, so that's why it's taking time. And then purchase report now, if you go, there's directly the price is 4997 plus 18% GST. Need to pay in a different currency. I made it available globally. So if people have, like, I want to pay in UK or euros, then they can write to me. The other link is not there on this page. The scheduling a Zoom session with me one-on-one. And even if you want to schedule a Zoom session with me for something totally unrelated to this, that's also fine. Just that the next date available will be in the new year. Okay, because I'm going to be on vacation from up. Once we end this, I'm on vacation time.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you, Heena, for this. Thank you for letting me make a. And I mean, let's connect WhatsApp one-on-one and meet up or just speak over the phone. One of these things. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Anil. It was a wonderful session, eye-opening for many. I could see that. Very, very insightful, and looking forward for more insights from you in coming time also. And thank you so much to each one of you for joining and making it fun.
Okay, so we had 10 people, out of which taking 2 out of 8 of us. Good.
Yes.
Around close to this time of the year when everybody's on vacation. Thank you
Yeah.
all for being on this Zoom.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.